Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon if you're joining us from the East Coast. We'll wait for another minute or so to allow our guests to join in, and we'll be right back with you. Wonderful. We'll get underway here with our webinar for today. Really exciting topic and most often misunderstood. We're going to be talking about backlinking and how to rank higher on Google. There are so many different ways that you can tackle SEO, link building being one of the key areas that will contribute to your overall rank factor when it comes to Google or any other search engine. So today we're going to be covering how you're going to improve that search authority and get more sales. Really exciting topic once again, so let's get underway. So for our agenda, we're going to be covering what link building is, why you need to implement it, techniques for getting these links, and how to get started creating linkable content. Really important, once again, for your overall SEO strategy, oftentimes the more challenging portion of SEO. We're going to demystify that today. A little bit about myself. My name is Eduardo Silva. I will be your host here today. I am the Vice President of Sales here at Foot Traffic and really excited to be part of this industry. I joined the industry approximately 4 years ago when I attended Oaksterdam University here in Oakland, California. And I was really excited about all of the exciting news that was coming out of our industry. And as of December of this last year, there was a really pivotal moment of interviewing a lot of industry leaders as well as general managers of dispensaries, which really convinced me to take a full leap into the industry. There is a massive need for reaching out to these customers and finding them, as well as building reputation and brand. And that's exactly what we are covering here with our webinar series at Foot Traffic. A little bit about Foot Traffic. We've been in business for over 5 years now, fully dedicated to this industry. Our breadth of coverage is across all of North America. And for each one of our customers, we may be specializing on 1, 2, or maybe even 4 different service key areas, which are all specializing in that digital advertising sector. Let's take a quick moment to just familiarize ourselves, if you are joining us on the Zoom interface today, with the Q&A button. There are live panelists that can answer any of your questions while we're going through the content. Also, take a moment to silence your phones or put them face down on your desk. We are going to cover quite a lot of content, so we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to really absorb the material. And be sure to stick around. We do have a special offer for those attending the webinar today. So feel free to reach out to us after the webinar. We can set you up with a custom one-on-one conference call where we can discuss your specific business needs and get you set up. So let's jump right in. Link building is an integral part of search engine optimization. If you've joined some of our previous webinars, you know that search engine optimization, or SEO as is commonly called, is all about optimizing your website around particular keywords, improving the user experience, and incorporating strategies to help you with Google ranking factors. Link building is one of those strategies, and it plays right into what Google cares about. According to Search Engine Land, links are one of the top 2 factors that Google considers for their rankings. Once you rank higher on Google or need to secure your position so competitors don't take that top spot that you earned, well, link building as part of a broader SEO strategy can do just that. When you run a search on Google, they want to give you the most relevant results. They try to match your search intent so that if you are doing a search so you can learn more about something, you get educational results. If you're doing a search to buy something, you get shopping results. This makes sense, right? This has made Google extremely popular. There are over 3.5 billion Google searches each and every day. And I know this because I did ask Google. So how can you convince Google's algorithm that your site is the answer to particular queries? How can you show that your dispensary is the best one to show searchers in your area? That's precisely the areas that we will be covering today. To rank which sites and pages it will point to, Google looks at a lot of factors. These are all part of their secretive algorithm. And these ranking factors are all revolving around EAT, or EAT for short. This stands for expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. If your website is able to showcase these three factors, then you're going to show up higher in relevant searches. So how can you do this? In addition to creating great content, creating a link building strategies as part of your larger SEO strategy will help showcase the EAT of your website. When people link to your site, they're essentially endorsing you as an expert. Those links help you build site authority. They tell Google that people like your content and that it is relevant. And once Google has that information, when someone does a relevant search, they will be able to highlight your dispensary as a qualified search result. Makes sense, right? And that's the why of link building. So let's jump into the what. The act of getting sites to link to you is link building. Link building typically prioritizes two types of links: internal links that are your own website and points to your own pages and backlinks, which are called inbound links coming from other websites. Let's say you have a blog post talking about sativas, and at the end, you link to your menu or a location page. That's an internal link. If you're mentioned in an article about dispensaries and they link to your website, that's a backlink. The quality of the link also matters, of course. While you want many links, they should be from relevant sites or individuals, because their domain authority helps increase the value of the link. The text that they use to link to you, known as the anchor text, also matters. It should be relevant to the content that's being linked to. When creating a link building strategy, you want to consider a couple of things to ensure that you are maximizing your time and actually boosting your SEO. First, and very, very important, set a goal. What types of links do you want to score? How many do you envision getting? And what time frame do you want to achieve this in? Next, before getting started in creating content, make sure to audit your site and off-site profiles or directory listings for missing opportunities. Do they all have the appropriate links? If not, get the right links added. Now let's dive into internal links. Internal links don't provide quite the same value as backlinks, though they're still considered to be a valuable part of SEO. Internal links are useful for establishing site architecture and spreading link equity around your site. Having a crawlable internal link structure will help it make it easier for search engines to find and index all of the pages on your website, which means that Google can then reference those pages for the appropriate search terms. Now, in their rush to produce content, many websites make the mistake of hiding or burying pages. They may not make them part of their menu or link to them. However, in order for search engines to like Google to rank your pages in a user search results, it has to be able to find them. It just makes sense. A solid internal link structure will make your pages more accessible and easier to find for both Google and potential customers as well. And not to mention that this will actually increase the time consumers browse through your website, which is yet another great sales capability. I mentioned that internal links also work to distribute link equity amongst your pages. Link equity can be thought of as passing value and authority from one page to another. Internal linking should be a consideration when creating your website, adding pages, and posting blog content. Your website should feature an easy-to-navigate hierarchy that makes sense to your users. For example, let's say you're having multiple locations. From your homepage, you would want to link to your locations page and then link to each of the different locations. If you work in multiple states, then the locations page should feature the state pages, which would then link to the individual dispensaries. This is pretty logical and intuitive once you think about it in that perspective. When adding new pages or blog posts, you want to link to them properly and maintain the site hierarchy and make them crawlable. One way to do this is to create pillar content, which is important content that you're referenced time and time again. On our website, we have a knowledge base with pages that share information about digital marketing. Each of the pillar pages is full of important information that helps educate potential clients. When we write blog posts, we link to those pages when appropriate, and then which helps Google add the value to those pillar pages as well. Feel free to browse to freetraffic.co to become familiar with it. Speaking of blog posts, in addition to linking to your pillar pages and menu, you will also want to make sure that you link to your other blog posts when appropriate. Let's talk backlinks now. Very, very important. Backlinks are the gold standard for link building. When a credible, high authority website links to yours, it's almost as if it were transferring some of its own authority to your site. When a search engine attempts to rank your website, it doesn't just look at the content on your site. It also looks at the external link pointing to the content. Having a network of valuable backlinks will automatically give your dispensary a website boost in search engine rankings. Because of this, not all links are the same. Inbound links coming from trusted high traffic and high authority websites are more valuable than links coming from less known sites with less traffic. When a credible website with a high ranking link to your content, you can expect your rankings to go up over time. But when a backlink originates from a low value, like a low authority website, it can actually have the opposite effect. Low value backlinks can hurt your search ranking, pulling your site down in the rankings instead of pushing it up. These types of backlinks are generally the result of black hat SEO strategy that can get you in trouble with Google. We don't participate in those types of strategies to protect our clients. By implementing a robust backlinking building strategy, we can score high quality backlinks that improve our clients' ranking. And here at Foot Traffic, we have a network of partner sites that are high ranking authority sites within the cannabis industry. And that's why our practice is sure shot. There are a variety of ways to score backlinks to your site. So let's talk about those for a moment. The best way to get backlinks is to create good content that people want to share via social or on their own blog post. By showcasing your knowledge of the industry and of cannabis in general, you can create content that people want to link to. For a dispensary, this could be educational content about the entourage effect, terpenes, or CBD, among other things. You can also feature brands. Some brands may even be willing to link to your content about them or share via their social media. Now, this isn't just have to be text. Yes, a great blog post about these topics is a great idea. But if you have the resources and time, you can take it a step further. In addition to blog posts, you can create videos to provide information in an accessible format. You can also create infographics or fun GIFs that are relevant in sites that will want to share back to it. We do offer content services for our clients. We have a blog service that includes ideation, creation, and publication so that you get the benefits without having to do the actual hard work. This is the fastest way to get started with the content creation. Think about it. How many blog posts can you write in 1 week? We have an entire staff dedicated to writing content that is key to your brand. If you want to tackle this by yourself, as we mentioned, start with keyword search or consumer research to dial into what potential customers want to know and read. One simple way to do this is to check with your bud tenders to see what questions they get asked mostly. From there, you will need to create a post, edit it, find a creative image, and then publish it regularly. Another way to get links to your site is by ensuring you're listed in directories like Yelp, Weedmaps, and Leafly. Of course, the first listing you will need to create is your Google My Business profile. From there, you will want to focus on directories that are relevant to your industry. And right now, Weedmaps gets the most traffic, then Leafly. So you definitely want to create a listings there as well. The fastest way to get on all of the right listing directory is by using our listing services. We'll create your profile for you and get your dispensary on all of the right directories. You can also score backlinks by speaking or presenting at cannabis conference events. There are plenty of educational conferences and events happening across the country thanks to the popularity of legalization. Of course, these are all virtual right now, but they still present a great opportunity for getting high quality backlinks. Depending on the size of your company, you may be able to land speaking gigs at popular conferences like MJ BizCon. Or if you have expertise in a particular part of the industry, you may be able to secure a spot as a panelist at conferences that cover a variety of topics. For example, if you've centered your dispensary around wellness and have a history with alternative medicine, you may be able to speak about your role of the dispensary as alternative medicine providers or as a partner to integrative medicine practices. Local events can help you build links as well. If you have a partnership with, let's say, a yoga studio, you can each mention your joint events on your websites. You can also submit that event to other sites like your local newspaper or library. Some dispensaries even partner with libraries themselves to help educate patients about cannabis. There are a lot of cannabis-friendly podcasts out there, and why not reach out to one of them and propose doing an episode together? Many podcasts will have information about being a contributor or guest on their website. Alternatively, you can start your own podcast and feature guests who will link to your podcast on your site and as well as their site. Webinars can also be a useful tool. to score links. Right now, most events have gone virtual, and Zoom is a daily thing. We've been doing webinars for almost a year now, and it's a great way to both create content and share valuable information with interested parties. For dispensaries, you can do educational webinars about cannabinoids, terpenes, and more. You can also transition your events into webinars. Rather than having a vendor day, you can have a vendor webinar day that can be viewed time and time again. If you use to host marijuana medication and meditation classes, go virtual and create a series. These can liven up your website so that you have quality content and they can be easily linked to and as well as shared. Another way to build links is to post on other websites' blogs. For example, if you create a good article that gets accepted by Green Entrepreneur, your bio will have a link to your website in it. Some sites only offer no follow links, so be sure to check before investing too much time into creating content that won't give you a big boost. This means that the site owner has added an attribute to the link to tell Google not to pass off some of the page rank to the site being linked. This is often the case on sites like Medium or in other blog post comments. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't bother with no follow links. It can still be a worthwhile venture because while you may not necessarily get an SEO boost, you may still get people clicking through to your website if your article is great. Essentially, weigh the benefits versus the cost of your time to determine whether you should go down that route altogether. To track your link building strategy, you will likely want to use a couple of different software platforms to check them regularly. We always recommend that our clients install Google Analytics. The Google Analytics platform lets you see where your traffic is coming from. We use it as a part of our revenue attribution. When you set this up properly, you can see how many sales resulted from your different links. You can also see whether sales from organic traffic increase over time, which is a larger goal of a quality SEO strategy. You can also track the effectiveness of your link building with a site like Ahrefs. Ahrefs helps measure how many backlinks your site has. It's a robust tool that can help support and measure your SEO goals. You can even use it to provide insight into your competitor's website. When you work with a cannabis digital marketing agency such as Foot Traffic, this is all done for you. You don't have to worry about making sure your Google Analytics is set up right or signing up for your SEO tool that you will need to learn more to use. We'll install Google Analytics for you and provide reporting on your website performance. We'll score you more links and monitor them. Link building doesn't stop there. To get the most out of this strategy, you need to continue to invest in it. Google is consistently updating its algorithm. Plus, some of your older links will break or disappear altogether. Just like SEO, link building is a process. Success happens over time, and to see results, you will want to keep getting quality links. The first few months that you engage in SEO, it's all about getting things set up and tracking. You can expect to see the results of your hard labor in about 6 months. This all depends on your market though. So be sure to give us a call and learn more about what this would mean for your particular dispensary. If you are ready to implement a strategy that is guaranteed to work and provide you revenue attribution, let's get talking. I want to get you set up with our special SEO deal that includes link building. If you sign up for a 3-month SEO strategy before December 15th, we will give you 20% off your first month. We can truly cater this service to your business. So if you have questions or particular concerns about your website performance, schedule a call with us. We're going to be putting the link here in the chat window so you can get in touch with us and we can go over this. Once you know the issues you're facing, we can help you create a plan to address and then overcome them. Let's take a moment to address any questions from the audience now. If you have any questions, please do feel free to enter them here in the Q&A window. Great first question here. How much does link building impact SEO? Great question. We can't know the exact impact because Google doesn't share that information since it's proprietary to their algorithm. But research by SEO specialists suggests that it is one of the most important factors to determine page ranking. We estimate this should be greater than 30% of the overall SEO strategy. Some specialists may say that this is actually closer to 40%. So anywhere in between there, let's cut it in the middle, let's call it 35% impact. How many links do you need to improve your SEO ranking? Great question. All right, so there are no hard or fast number for this. And ultimately, it's more important to focus on the quality of the links, as I mentioned before, than quantity, right? Because if you do land some of those poor quality sites, it will drag you down. You can have tons of links, but if you don't come up with quality or relevant sites, then they aren't going to help you. Great questions. All right, just one more question from the audience, and then we'll be concluding our call here for today. Okay, so how long does it take to see keyword ranking improvement from link building? Another question we get very often. And for the uninitiated in SEO, it always seems a little bit of a mystical answer. But in reality, within the first 60 to 90 days, you're going to be starting to see some true impact of the link building efforts. Google must first crawl the internet to index all of the new links between websites. Then it will credit this back to your website. So it takes a little bit of time. It's kind of like do the work and wait for the crawl to come through, and then wait for the ranking to be applied right towards your website. Wonderful. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Don't forget to take advantage of today's SEO offer. It's for today's attendees only, and I really want to get you hooked up with the service. Also, for sticking around, you've qualified for a free Yeti, so let's get shipping that information to you. Just get in touch with us. Once again, you have the contact link here in the chat window. Let's get you set up. Let's get your shipping information in. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week.